Welcome and thank you for coming to cover this press conference. We're excited about the men and women of this department. I think today really is a testimony to the tenacity of our homicide unit. We're here to announce the clearing of the Vortex murder. I'm really excited. I want to acknowledge two strong investigators from homicide. Investigator Vasquez, I want to give you a challenge horn.
Oh, thank
Say
you.
congratulations and thank you for your work.
Thank you.
Investigator Thomas.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And then with that, I really think this is a huge opportunity for us to talk about how this came together. And really because of the Crime Stoppers information that we received, I'm going to turn it over to our captain who runs homicide to talk about the details. But this is a great day for the citizens of Atlanta.
Thank you, sir. All right, I'm Captain O'Connor. I'm the commander of the homicide unit. I'm going to briefly go over the incident to make sure that we have all the details clear. So on March the 14th at approximately 02:45 hours in the morning, Atlanta Police 911 received a call of a person down at 468 Moreland Avenue, which is the parking lot of the Vortex. When the police officers arrived at the scene, they located one male who was down at that time with a gunshot wound, and then quickly located another male in the parking lot who had also been shot. Both of those victims were pronounced deceased on scene. And as of that morning, really, we had no further information than that. So, with tremendous investigative effort on the part of both Detective Thomas and Detective Velasquez, we were able to take what turned out to be very small clues and get to the end point where we were able to arrest 4 subjects, each on 2 counts of malice murder. As many of you are aware, we were able to link through a timeline 2 previous robberies that occurred, one at North Highland in Los Angeles and another one at North Highland in Seminole. And then later, we located a wallet that had been turned into the North Highland pub, and with the assistance of the media, the Good Samaritan who located that wallet came forward and showed us directly where he located that wallet, which was also on track to be part of our timeline to link the murders to the robberies. We have some other key pieces of evidence, but we're not prepared to discuss those at this time. But I knew that you are aware of the timeline, so we will confirm that the Good Samaritan was extremely helpful in this case and did help us lead to the point where we have the warrants. 4 subjects have been charged in this case. I'll name 3 of them. One of them was 14 years old at the time of the murder. We're not providing his name at this time. The second subject would be Charlie Baldwin. He was 17 at the time of the murder. Jaquez Allen, also 17 at the time of the murder, and Thomas Dozier, who was 25 at the time of the murder. That concludes my statement. I'll take any questions you may have.
Is it a gang? Did Thomas Dozier run the crew? Or?
We don't have information that supports that idea.
How relieved are you all excited about getting them off the street?
Of course, we're always excited anytime that we're able to close a case, any murder case for any victim. So, of course, we're always excited about things like that. But at the same time, we realize that there's still a lot of work to do, and we still have other cases that we're working on. So the work always goes forward.
Can you give the details on exactly what happened, where things may have happened, when?
The first robbery occurred at
Los Angeles and North Highland.
North Highland. The second robbery occurs at Seminole. We locate the wallet, and then we believe that the murders occurred shortly thereafter. So that's kind of roughly the timeline that we scoped out earlier for you.
Now, sir, curious, of the robberies, originally you all had 2 suspects in custody and charged with those robberies. Did you arrest 2 more people since the Good Samaritan came forward?
We anticipate charging all 4 suspects in those cases.
In the
Including the
robberies
first
as
2.
well as the homicides?
That's correct, yes.
So the wallet really was the clue.
The wallet was important. We have some other information that we're not prepared to release, so there's a number of clues, but the wallet is very important, yes.
Is it possible they were involved in other crimes that night?
Well, that's always possible. We've only been able to link them to the crimes that we've described here today.
Have they confessed?
I can't comment on
They
that.
made a statement.
I can't comment on that either.
Do you all have any message to the Zone 6 community you all would like to tell them?
Yeah, just that, we understand and clearly understand the concerns of the community, not just in Zone 6, but throughout the city. And they need to understand that the men and women of the Atlanta Police Department will continue to work on behalf of the citizens of the city of Atlanta.
Sir, do we know the 4 suspects? Are they related in any way? How do they know one another? Are you looking for other suspects?
None of the subjects are related, but they are acquaintances.
And are you looking for other suspects?
We are not looking for any other suspects at this time.
What ties them to the crime specifically?
There are a number of factors that tie them to the crime specifically. I've only outlined for you the one, which is where the timeline of the
The
robberies.
timeline just puts them in the vicinity though, right?
I mean, we're not answering any of those questions. We've explained the circumstances that we are comfortable explaining, and we're not taking any other questions related to the investigational details at this time.
Sir, the wallet that was found, how soon after was it returned to the Highland Pub?
That day, the day of the
The
murders.
day,
Mhm.
okay.
And have you all noticed a significant change in that area of the armed robberies that have been happening? Have you noticed a decrease since you all got those subjects?
That's really a crime analysis question, but the crime has been, as you know, we've been on a decade-long decline in crime, and then I don't believe that we had any other robberies that were, because we looked at all of the robbery patterns right around this time, and we didn't see anything else that lined up with us. But specifically on a day-to-day basis, I don't have that information.
Last question.
Maybe you explain this, but can you tell me again, the wallet, that belonged to one of the victims? Is that why it was relevant, or? We want to release, or we want to talk about why the wallet's important? No, we don't want to talk about that.
We're sorry, guys, but the information concerning the investigation continue to have to be fluid. We have to prosecute this case.
Just one question about the pattern, though. You mentioned 15, you look at patterns. All this in 15 minutes, that's a pattern. How unusual is what they did in 15 minutes? Obviously, it stands out in terms of,
It was unusual enough to be noticeable. Does that answer your, I mean, we noticed that happened within a 15-minute time period.
Sir, just one question, I'm sorry, the wallet, you were saying it was key in charging all four of them. Can you talk about that a little bit? Why did we come out and want this Good Samaritan? How important was it that this individual come forward?
I know that what everyone would like is that I could basically lay out the case for you
Just
in as much detail as possible. And I'd like to be able to answer further than that. I can tell you that the wallet is key and important, but beyond that, I really can't. Now, I'd love to be able to answer every question y'all would like to pose for me, but we still do have to try this case in the Superior Court. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.